Hi, good day all of you. Welcome to our session. Welcome to our channel Intelligible Tutorials. In this today's session now we are going to see some more number of the bugs which are not completely completed in previous video, which is a taxonomy of the bugs too. Okay, so this is also the here in this video also I have included some of the types of the bugs in the taxonomy of the bugs. So this is the third part of the bug. So please watch the previous videos also, taxonomy bugs 1 and taxonomy bugs 2 also. Now in this video I am going to describe about the external interface bugs. What is the meaning of the external interface bugs? External interface means how it communicating to the world. Okay, so normally through which parts it will communicate to the world by using the actuators, sensors, printers, communication lines and other kind of the terminals. Okay, so the main criteria of designing this thing is to interact with the outside world. Okay, so basically it follows some set of the protocol, some set of the rules it follows. Okay, so what are the various kinds of the external interface bugs are nothing but invalid timing sequence assumptions related to external signals. Okay, so interrupts, these are some examples of bugs. Okay, and misunderstanding external input or output formats. Some of the input and output formats are not understood. Those are also comes under interface and integration bugs. Now, what are the internal interface bugs? Internal interface bugs means within the system how routines are cooperated, how they are communicating, all these things. Okay, so here also the same problem, whatever kinds of the bugs are existing here, also the same kind of the bugs will exist in the internal interfaces. Now coming to these bugs are somewhat related to the hardware architecture also. Okay, so what are the bugs related to internal system, internal hardware architecture bugs? Now we are going to see. I have listed the hardware architecture bugs here. Those are bugs related to hardware architecture. Here are example of hardware architecture bugs are address generation error, input output operation or instruction error, waiting too long for the response, incorrect interrupt handling. Okay, and what is the remedy for this hardware architecture interface errors is nothing but we have to perform good programming, we have to conduct good testing. Okay, and we have to use some centralized hardware interface in order to overcome these number of the problems. Okay, next, what are the various kinds of the operating system bugs we find? Okay, up to now we have seen so many number of the bugs. Now we are going to see what are the various kinds of the operating system bugs. Okay, one kind of the hardware bugs and interface bugs and hardware architecture bugs, internal and external interface bugs are also comes under this operating system bugs. Okay, so use of operating system interface specialists and use of explicit interface modules, bugs with the system calls. Okay, what are the system calls actually? System calls are nothing but some kind of the service points offered by the operating system. When is there is a use of any mismatch or any misuse of these system calls, that leads to operating system bugs. Okay, so explicit interface modules, bugs in the macros, bugs in the explicit interface modules, all these bugs related to the operating system bugs. Okay, so some of the operating system bugs are relates to software architecture bugs also. So what are the software architecture bugs? In the earlier we have seen hardware architecture bugs. Now I am going to describe about what are the software architecture bugs. Software architecture bugs are interactive bugs. Okay, assumption that even in I told previously what is the interrupt, the some kind of the bug event that is generated. Okay, assumption that there will be no interrupts, failure to block or unblock the interrupts, and assumption that memory registers was initialized or not initialized. We are considering that memory registers were initialized, but actually these are not at all initialized. And what are the various kinds of modules like careful integration modules and subjecting the final system to a stress test for effective methods of for these bugs. We are integrating various kinds of the modules by subjecting the final test that is called as stress test. Okay, for effective method, this is one of the effective test method. We are doing all these bugs, effective methods for those bugs. What bugs we will get in the effective testing, that also will lead to the software architecture bugs. So all these are comes under the software architecture bugs like interrupts, assumption that there are no interrupts, but actually there are no blocking of the interrupts, and assumption that there are registers were initialized, actually they were not initialized, and stress test bugs. All these are comes under software architecture bugs. Okay, and now we are going to talk about the control and sequence bugs. Actually, we have seen this control and sequence bugs previously. Okay, that is at the program level only we have seen coding level control and sequence bugs. At what are the control and sequence bugs at the system level? Now we are going to see system level also the controlling and sequencing will be there. So whenever we are having bugs in that context, we call them as the control and sequence bugs. Normally these control and sequence bugs include ignore timing, assuming the events occur in the specified sequence, okay, ignoring the timing and assuming that event occurs within a given specified sequence, working on data before all the data has arrived from disk, before the data has given as input, or before that we are working on the data, we started working on the data, that leads to bugs. Okay, waiting for an impossible combination of prerequisites, some combination of the prerequisites we don't know, we are waiting for impossible combination of the prerequisites, and missing wrong redundant process steps, highly structured sequential control, specialized internal sequence control mechanisms. These bugs are these mechanisms that we will use as the remedies for these bugs. Okay, missing wrong redundant process steps. Okay, up to now these are the errors, and the remedies we are having highly structured sequential control, if we maintain we can reduce them, and specialized internal sequence control mechanisms, if we make use of them, then we can control all these control sequence bugs like data bugs, sorry, control sequence bugs at the system level, like waiting for impossible combination of prerequisites, working on data before all the data errored from the disk, all these things. Okay, next, what are the bugs related to resources? What are the bugs related to resource management problems? So some of the resource management and usage bugs are given as listed as required resource is not given, not obtained, whatever resource you are going to obtain, that is not at all present. And if instead of one resource you have presented one more resource, we got one more resource, that is wrong resource is used. And whenever you are accessing for one resource that is already in use by other process, and deadlock of the resources, all these bugs are related to resource management problems. And what are the remedies for this resource management remedies? A design remedy that prevents bugs are, we have to take one design remedy in the resource management where to keep the entire resource structure must be simple. Okay, we have to take some kind of the different resources of fewest fuels, and there is no private resource management we have to allow. Okay, so the structure must be simple where the resource management we will do, and different kinds of the resources, fewest fuels, and there should not be a private resource management. Okay, so these are the remedies. Next one is integration bugs. Whenever we are combining one module to another module or one component to another component within the system, these bugs normally may arise. So what are the various kinds of the bugs? Integration bugs are the bugs having to do with integration of with the interfaces. We are combining two interfaces, we are integrating two interfaces, we are working and tested on the components. Okay, so whenever we have bugs in this area, these are called as integration bugs. These bugs result from various kinds of the inconsistencies, incompatibilities between the components. Various kinds of these methods that exist in data structures, call sequences, registers, semaphores, communication links, and protocol results in integrated bugs. Various kinds of the areas in these bugs arises are data structures, number one. Number two, call sequences. Number three, registers. Number four, semaphores. Number five, communication links and protocol results in the integration bugs. These are the various kinds of the integration bugs. Next, what are the system bugs actually? System bugs, within the whole we are performing with the system testing, then we may come across these system bugs. System bugs covering all kind of the bugs, not only one single bug, each and every bug will comes under the system bugs. Okay, so that's why it is various kinds of the system bugs will present. Okay, so that cannot be ascribed to a component or to other simple interactions, but the system bugs result from the totality of the interactions between many number of the components, many number of the programs, many data, hardware, and other operating systems. System bugs not only exist in one area, they may exist in multiple number of the components, multiple number of the hardware components, data, and other operating systems. Okay, there can be no meaningful system testing until there has been thorough component and integration testing. Okay, whenever we are having good component and good integration testing we have done, there is no usage of the system testing is there. Okay, that are sufficient. If whenever you have completed the thorough components with the completely tested component and perfectly integrated one component with the other component, we have done perfectly the integration testing, then there is no need of the system testing, there is no meaning of the system testing. Okay, so system testing stops there itself. So we have completed all these levels at the basic level, like unit testing, module testing, integration testing, component testing, and again integration testing, all these things, then there is no need of the system testing. That's what it is saying. Okay, so tests and test design bugs. Testing bugs. Okay, so bugs inside the test and test design bugs. What are these? Now we are going to see. Testing. Okay, so testers have no immunity to bugs, only they are intended to check for the bugs. Okay, testers require complicated scenario, tests require various kinds of the complicated scenarios and databases, and they're working on the code and execute the code and represent them, they are having the bugs. What criteria they may choose for the testing? Okay, so if the given specification input is correct, it is correctly given the predicted output, then the proper test has been successfully executed, we can say. If the specification is correct, it is correctly interpreted and implemented, and a proper test has been designed. So designing also, according to the specifications, according to the correct interpretations and implementations of the coding, we can test effective test. Okay, if we have set of the inputs, very good precise code, then we can design the test. Okay, so what are the various remedies of these test bugs we are having? Test debugging. Test debugging is different from program debugging. Okay, so test debugging means program debugging, we are debugging line by line the programming code. In the test debugging, we may have some test code. Some of the testing tools may use the test script language. Test script language will provide you the test debugging. It is different from the programming debugging. Okay, so the test script language entirely tests the entire software. Okay, so test debugging when compared to programming debugging, it is easier because properly designed and simpler programs do not have to make concessions to the efficiency. Properly designed test cannot compromise in the case of the efficiency. Next, finally, the test quality assurance. Programmers have right to ask how quality in interpreted testing is monitored. So test quality assurance means it is an umbrella of various kinds of the testing techniques in order to improve the quality of the entire software. So we have to carry out multiple number of the tests to perform to get this test quality assurance. Okay, so next, test execution automation. Test execution automation means the history of the software bug removal and the prevention of the bug is indistinguishable from the history of the programming automation aids. Okay, so bug removal is different from the bug prevention. It's not at all correct. Bug removal and bug in prevention both are integrated, highly integrated things. Okay, so whenever we are working with the automated tools. Next, test design automation. Just as much software development has been automated, much test design has been automated. Even nowadays, the test design, not only the testing is automated, test execution is automated always, and test design is also automated. Using the automated tools, the people are developing very good test automation, very good testing methods and test execution methods, and very good test plans and very good test design automations. So these are the various kinds of the tests. So far we have concluded. Now we have completed the bug taxonomy. Okay, so taxonomy of the bugs part 3 this is. Please watch the previous videos also in order to understand this video, that is taxonomy 1 and taxonomy 2, and this is taxonomy 3. So for more videos on this multiple number of the subjects, please subscribe my channel Intelligible Tutorials. Thank you so much.